L'ambiance bat toujours son plein ici au bowling La Sphère. Fontaine le Comte, c'est le nom de l'emplacement géographique où nous nous trouvons. Match du deuxième tour du Master Series de la Promotion Tour 13e édition. Et derrière moi, les deux protagonistes qui vont s'affronter d'ici quelques instants. L'américaine Linday Boomershine qu'on a vu battre Clara Guerrero, la colombienne, il y a quelques instants de cela. Et puis Linday Boomershine, donc qualifiée pour le deuxième tour. Elle affrontera un Colombien en la personne de Jaime Gonzalez, qui n'est autre qu'un médaillé de bronze aux Jeux mondiaux de 2020, médaillé de bronze aux Jeux panaméricains de 2019. Linday Boomershine avec cette victoire face à Clara Guerrero qui prend une option très sérieuse. Elle avait beaucoup de mal justement à finir face à l'élite mondiale. C'est désormais chose faite ici, non loin de Poitiers. Jusqu'où ira-t-elle? C'est la question du jour.
Thank you, Marc Chavet, for that introduction to round 2 of the 2023 QubicaAMF Bowling Promotion Tour Masters Series. You can see here that in round 1, Linday Boomershine defeated Clara Guerrero of Colombia 228 to 216. In round 2, we have Jaime Gonzalez stepping up to face Linday, and the winner of this match goes against Liz Johnson. In round 3, we will have 9 stepladder matches here for you in this Masters Series. And my name is Bruce Hall. I'm your international commentator for these matches. Marc Chavet and Bruno Bidone offer the French commentary, and we will see an interview with Jaime Gonzalez after this match with Marc, with Clara Guerrero translating. Looking forward to that. Get his perspectives on the match, win or lose. And there is Linday coming up late to the pocket for a 10-pin. We are on the Gateway Arch oil pattern. There is some ratio to this pattern. There's oil in the middle, there's dry outside. Bowlers are all right around the track area, just inside the track area, 12 board, 13, 14 board, somewhere in there. And if they get it to the right, it will hook. If they get it to the left, it will hold. The trick has been figuring out the break point on the lane and getting the ball to go through the pins the right way in order to carry. We're seeing a lot of 10 pins on this pattern. People fishing around the pocket, having a difficult time putting strings together. That said, Linday did finish out our last match with a string of strikes to get her to 228. So she has figured it out, at least at that time, and now the lanes will change again, and we'll see how this transition affects both players as we move through round 2. This is our first look at Jaime Gonzalez, 14-year member of Team Colombia. And that's right over third arrow, a little bit late, ring 10. Once again, another 10 pin. And let's watch this shot. It's pretty good. He's nice and straight. Angles are all straight, right in next to his ankle. Nice clean release. Good looking shot, just a little late to the pocket for the ring 10 for Gonzalez. Gonzalez had teamed up in an international events with Andres Gomez, who recently joined the PBA 50 Tour as a rookie. So Jaime, no stranger to teaming up with great players. And Jaime goes after this 10 pin, and unfortunately that was just left of target. I think he just pulled it and missed the 10 pin. Let's have a look and let's see if he slipped in the approach or anything else happened here. He came through it, and no, I think that was just a little bit left of target and did not trust it. Maybe the TV lights perhaps, but just a mistake there early on by Gonzalez. Boomershine does get 8 pins of handicap per international competition. Ladies automatically get 8 pins, and that was reflected in their qualifying scores. Gonzalez averaged 224.7 for his 18 games of qualifying, so no stranger to scoring on this pattern is Jaime. And let's see how he recovers off that missed 10 pin. Gets it out to the right a little bit, looking for the dry to pick up. It does not. Comes up for the 2 pin, fortunate not to leave the 7 pin with that. And let's see how Gonzalez goes after this 2 pin. You can see he's wearing his Team Serious jersey. That was the Baker team competition we had. You can find those matches on this YouTube channel. And that competition was won, of course, by Team Vega and Captain Matt McNeil. We will see Matt later on in this stepladder series, so looking forward to that. The smooth stroking left-hander, Matt McNeil. We'll also see Daniel McEwen, qualifying led by Dennis Grunheit of Germany. Jack Blythe coming up, some other stars, and of course Liz Johnson in our next match. So some very interesting players coming up in this Masters Series stepladder. That looks like Lindsay's Night Road, which is her less aggressive ball. Gets that one out to the dry, comes a blade, and another 10-pin. That's 3 out of 4 10-pins on these players. Can't get it to make the corner. So now you think, do I ball up, get a little bit more surface? Do I try to get it hooked earlier? Now, unfortunately, you may give the pocket away. Or do I go to a shinier ball, go a little longer, save some energy? But again, can you still control the pocket? So there's always this cat and mouse game you play, trying to get the right shape through the pins, yet still having a high pocket percentage. So this is what these bowlers are all calculating as they go through their various shots. And we may see ball changes later on in this match, and we'll see what happens depending on whether or not the bowlers can strike. We're 4 frames in. We have not seen a strike yet. So let's see how Lindsay responds on this left lane. Historically, the left lane has been hooking a little bit more on this pair. Again, any individual shot can do anything, and it's subtle. It's not a huge difference. But let's see how Lindsay does here. Lindsay, of course, a Storm staffer and married to Hank Boomershine, who's VP of Sales and R&D at Storm. And of course, coming off of her USBC Queens victory in May. Congratulations to Lindsay on that victory. And there's a mixer strike for Lindsay, striking in the 3rd frame. And that was Lindsay's first PWBA title. And what a way to break through for the USBC Queens. So congratulations to Lindsay there. And let's see, Jaime staying with that IQ. You can see the pin below his fingers. That's designed to get the ball into a roll earlier. And again, control the pocket. You don't want it, if the pin is higher above the fingers, it may skid down the lane and turn a little harder, be harder to control. But again, and he crumbles the bucket there. So give both bowlers strikes in the 3rd frame. As I said, we will see an interview with Jaime Gonzalez after this match with Marc Chavet and Clara Guerrero translating. We'll get Jaime's interpretations of the match, win or lose. We'll see what happens. QubicaAMF Strike Tour Series is a special event organized by Bowling Promotion for the French Federation and the French Olympic Sport Channel for the promotion of bowling in general and the French teams specifically. Yeah, let's see. Oh, we got that one way right. That's not going to recover, but he does get the 10-pin out and leaves only the 2-pin. Does Gonzalez. It's another 2-pin on that left lane. Funny, it's supposed to be the hooking lane, but he really got this one out to the right. Look at the way it came back and gives him very lucky to leave only the 2 and not the 2-7. Big shout out to QubicaAMF, who has just signed on for a 3-year commitment to sponsor this Masters, to sponsor the bowling promotion and the Masters Series. So thank you so much to QubicaAMF for your support. And another spare in the 2-pin. That looked like a carbon copy of frame 2 for Gonzalez. Now let's see if Lindsay can double up here and extend her lead. She's got the open plus the 8 pins, so that's going to give her basically an 18-pin lead right now. And another good shot. Again, late to the pocket. Another 10-pin, ring 10. That's her 3rd one and the 4th one of this match in just 8 frames. So 10 pins galore here on this Gateway Arch oil pattern. Again, splits the 2nd and 3rd arrow. Says, can you read just a little sooner, please? Come up just a little bit higher in the pocket. The strike was lighter in the pocket, so perhaps that's the approach, is move and just try to hit a little bit lighter in the pocket. Anything solid in the pocket seems to want to leave a 10-pin, either solid or a weak 10. And another 10-pin conversion by Lindsay, no problem there. Yeah, it looks like Lindsay's going to stay with this Knight Road, which is a control ball, fairly aggressive. She's got some surface on it. I remember she was against Clara, and Clara had some shine on her Knight Road, where Lindsay is going with a little bit more surface, a little duller surface on the ball to get it to read sooner on the lane. Let's see how she does here on this left lane. And that's way out to the right, just like Jaime's shot was, only Lindsay's does not slow down, does not make the corner. And there is a nasty 2, 4, 8, 10 split. And she just got this fast and to the right, and it just does not make the corner. 2, 4, 8, 10, very difficult conversion. You want to actually hook at this. You want to have the ball hooking away from the 2-pin. And then it covers the 2 and the 4, and then hooking away, and not going to happen there. So this is going to give her a setback as she tries to hold her lead against Gonzalez. Gonzalez now down by only 3 pins. Once again, Lindsay has the 8 pins of handicap built into her score, so that does give her 92 in the 5th. And Jaime at an 89 in the 5th pace right now. Let's see what he can do. Only 3-pin match right now. Turn up a little more. He did move to the right, it looked like, on that shot. Still couldn't get it to turn the corner. And another 2-pin. That would be Jaime's 3rd 2-pin out of 5 shots, with 1 strike and 1 10-pin. Yeah, I guess that's right over second arrow. Between second and third arrow, looked like his feet were a little bit right, and just wouldn't make the corner. So frustrating. You know the pocket is accessible. You feel like you ought to be striking, and you just can't get the ball to make the turn at the right place. Just got to keep grinding. And sometimes it's even on a easier, higher scoring pattern. It's as much or more work as a difficult pattern, because you know you have to strike to keep up. 4-pin match now. Can either bowler crack this pattern? Look at this, only 2 strikes out of 10 shots. Rather surprising. I thought we'd see some higher scores here, but both bowlers nibbling around the pocket and struggling to put some strikes together here. Was this a ball change? I know he's looking at that reality check. Let's see if he moves to that. He does. This is a ball change for Jaime. So here's a shinier surface, and look at the pin up. This ball will definitely go longer down the lane, and it should pick up harder off the friction. I think he's looking to get it a little bit different shape, and it goes out. Look at this turn, and he pays the big price for the ball change, and then it turns hard in the mid lane and goes through for a 3, 4, 6 split. Look at this turn. He says, oh, now make the turn, and it dives through the pocket, and unfortunately leaves him with 3, 4, 6. Sometimes that's the price you pay for an experiment, and that's what that was. Jaime looking for more backhand, a little bit more power through the shot, and unfortunately pays the ultimate price, as he now has to adjust and see if he can figure out how to get to the pocket with that ball. He takes out 2 of them. So Lindsay's lead now just jumped to 18, sitting on the bench, as Jaime lost count and had the open there. He's looking over at his coach or whoever he's talking to about the shot. He says, yeah, I switched, want a little more back end, and boy, I sure got it. And on that left lane, of course, too. Got that big hook. And blower strike there for Lindsay. Big shot. And now's the time to jump on your opponent if you can do it. A double here would be huge and put Lindsay in a commanding lead in this match. She's up by 18 already. A strike here puts her up 28. And with Jaime struggling, he may not be able to recover. This may be Lindsay's match to win right here. Winner faces Liz Johnson in round 3. Once again, 9 matches we're bringing you in this Master Series. Please hit like and subscribe. My friend Bruno Bidone is the producer of these matches and one of the commentators, and all-around great guy. There is another tour being set up for the end of September. If you have any interest in that, the teams are mostly set. It's going to be much more emphasis on team play. Teams are mostly set, but you can go to the bowling promotion website if you have any interest in joining that tour. And here's Lindsay. Looks like she moved her feet a little bit right. Gets up, gets the mixer. There's the strike. We haven't seen a flush strike yet in this match, but a double is a double. And look at this, right over 12. Yep, got through that one very well. Turns up, comes a little bit late, rips the 5, mixer carry the 7. Come on now, look at those eyes. And she gets it. Thank you very much. Give her the double. 28 pin lead now for Lindsay Boomershine. It's going to be very difficult for Gonzalez to dig himself out of this hole. I would suggest that he strike and go off the sheet. He's still got 214 available, which would certainly be enough if he could do it. And he fell off that shot. Boy, that was not good. It looked like he slipped. Just kind of stepped out of the shot. And he's checking his shoe. I think clearly he had an approach problem with here. Let's watch and see what happened. He comes up and he slides and his shoe just gave out from under him. And he's way off to the right and comes up, does not break up the 210 split, so that's going to be another split for Jaime. And that's going to bring his score down substantially. His total possible score comes up and just covers the 2-pin. He slipped again, it looked like there, so yeah, Jaime having all kinds of problems. He's having ball reaction problems, he's having slide problems, and here's a guy who averaged 224 in qualifying, so certainly he's a good player, no doubt about that. Just having some struggles here on TV and on this pair. Now 193 available for Gonzalez. I would highly suggest he do that, because with 8 pins, that means Boomershine would only have to come up with 185 net. And there's a good shot. Turn it up. And comes screaming across the deck, but won't carry. And he got his feet under him on that shot. It was a good shot. He got it to the right. Once again, came in a little bit late for a 10-pin. Jaime, just these one-game matches, boy, you just never know what can happen. They can turn so quickly. Get yourself into a hole. It's very difficult. There's no time. There's no frames to work out your issues. And meanwhile, Lindsay Boomershine, pro that she is, gets up at doubles. And there's a 10-pin conversion there to Jaime, proving that he can make the 10-pin. No problem there. Unfortunately, though, he can only shoot 183 gross, which means Lindsay would just have to beat the 170s. So really just marks for Lindsay here, and she will cruise on to meet Liz Johnson in round 3. Please hit like and subscribe on this YouTube channel. We'll bring you these exciting matches. And that's right up third arrow, right out. So Lindsay got that one in the oil, and you could see how it just skidded. Definitely an indication of oil inside and a little bit of dry outside. She pulled that and got a little bit of under reaction, as we call it. Over under, got a little bit of under that time. And no problem though, just make the spare and post some marks, and we will cruise to an easy victory for Lindsay over the struggling Gonzalez. And straight at it with the mix, just barely covers the 4-pin, but that's a spare, so good cover there for Lindsay. And now she will try this left lane. Let's see if she goes straight at it again. Seems like she wanted to tighten up her angles, try to get the ball a little bit higher in the pocket. And once again, Lindsay cruising at a 190 pace, easily outdistancing what she needs to defeat Gonzalez. Not even sure she needs 2 marks at this point. And that should get up. Oh, once again, comes up light. And that's a hit that normally might otherwise be a bucket. She only leaves the 5-pin. But an easy spare. That will put her in the 170s, and that will lock up the match. Unfortunately, Gonzalez, best he can do is 183, and with Lindsay's handicap, she just needs to get out of the 170s into the 180s, and she's there now. All she has to do is convert this 5-pin. I don't want to speak too soon, but I'm going to feel pretty confident she's going to cover this 5-pin, and that will seal up the match for Lindsay Boomershine. And who's got their hands up? No problem on the 5-pin spare. And good cover there for Lindsay. And now Jaime Gonzalez, unfortunately, could not figure out this pair. He's going to have a couple of last shots here to see if he can just make some last adjustments, see if he can figure out the pair at all. But really struggling. Just one of those games. And another good looking shot. And there's another 10-pin. Boy, he's throwing it well. It's just not getting rewarded at all. It's either 10 pins or he slides, slips out, and leaves a split. The first attempt with that reality check, it certainly was the right ball change to try to get more back end and try to get through the pins the right way. But unfortunately could not convert into enough offense to keep up with Lindsay Boomershine. And 10-pin conversion there. Once again, stick around for the interview, Marc Chavet. By the way, Marc, the voice of the Tour de France, and gracing us with his presence and insights in this bowling promotion tour telecast series. And one of the most interesting things about Marc is his French accent and then his U.S. accent. His U.S. accent is flawless. I would urge you to listen to it just for that. And Clara Guerrero will act as interpreter between Jaime and Marc. And this will be the last frame for Jaime. Let's see if he can put anything together here. Again, the right move with the ball, just not rewarded. And he gets it out. Good shot. Oh, there's a perfect strike in the pocket. And that's the first pocket strike we've seen for this whole match. Everything else has either been mixers or blowers or flat 10s or 2-pins or whatever it's been. So a lot of, surprisingly, how much these bowlers have struggled on this pair. And look at this turn through the pocket. That's what you're looking for. That's the perfect shot. Unfortunately, it comes in the 10th frame after Jaime is already out of wood. And let's see if he can double in the 10th here. Once again, another good release. Good shot. Comes up a little bit high for a 4-pin. So that's going to put Jaime in the 160s. And not the performance he was looking for, and certainly not what we would expect. But we will definitely see this young man again. Solid player from Colombia. Falls to a better lined up and really better carrying Lindsay Boomershine. And unfortunately goes by that 4-pin there. So that will be the final score for Jaime Gonzalez at 161. Certainly a struggling game for Gonzalez, not what he was looking for. And here's Lindsay with the victory lap. You could see a couple of folks there in the background. You saw Clara Guerrero. Jack Blythe was there in the background. And here's Lindsay's shot dead flush in the pocket. All of a sudden now we're hitting him flush in the pocket in the 10th frame. So that's good to see. And good for Lindsay to get lined up for her next match. And there will be no re-oil, so these lanes will continue to transition. It's going to be very interesting to see how the Liz Johnson-Lindsay Boomershine match evolves. We'll have our statistics right after these last couple of shots by Lindsay. And again, right up third arrow, turn it up a little bit late, another bucket. And Lindsay will be in the 190s with her handicap. And you wonder if she won't go to something more aggressive when she faces Liz Johnson. But that's the next match on this YouTube channel. Thanks everybody for watching. Once again, Bruce Hall here. I'm your international commentator for these matches. It's my honor to provide this English commentary, and good cover there by Lindsay, and that will do it. Lindsay shooting 198, 190 scratch, and in a decisive victory over Jaime Gonzalez. So congratulations to Lindsay. She'll move on to face Liz Johnson. Next there is Clara Ferreira behind Lindsay. And you can see our TV set here. Here's our stats. Lindsay Boomershine striking only 4 times. Gonzalez striking only twice. Only 6 strikes out of 20 shots by these great bowlers. 5 spares for Lindsay, 4 for Gonzalez, and 4 opens for Jaime Gonzalez, struggling with 161. Congratulations to Lindsay Boomershine. She'll move on. And stay tuned for our interview, folks. We'll see you in the Johnson versus Boomershine match.
Match compliqué pour Jaime Gonzalez, le Colombien qui est avec nous, qui prend quelques secondes de son temps précieux. Jaime, it was a difficult match out there. 1 strike in the beginning. There were 2 splits. A difficult situation to get out of. And it took you a long time to get back in the match later. Can you tell us in a nutshell what happened out there?
Fue un match muy difícil para ti, se te complicó, que hubo 2 splits, una media al principio, que si nos puedes decir en concreto qué fue lo que pasó.
Sí, realmente, digamos, durante todo el torneo había venido con buena sensación, pero desafortunadamente hoy en el día de la final no encontré una buena sensación con el approach. Estaba muy liso para mí y no podía usar mis piernas y llegar bien para lanzar.
During the entire competition, he felt good. Unfortunately, during the finals, the approaches were a little bit too slippery for him. He couldn't use his legs enough to throw good shots, and it just got complicated for him.
Voilà, c'est un problème au niveau des jambes et au niveau de l'approche. Il n'a pas pu utiliser l'assise sur les jambes nécessaires pour envoyer la boule dans les bonnes conditions. Il a souffert de ça et la spirale négative l'a emporté pour la suite. C'était effectivement un match très compliqué avec un score très bas pour Jaime Gonzalez.